3 years ago, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who'd ever heard the name Children of the Veil. Just another quiet, spiritual collective in the woods of Northern California. One of hundreds that come and go every year. They weren't famous, they weren't public. But that changed overnight. In the span of 12 hours, they became a household name. When federal agents raided the Veilstead compound, they found evidence of ritual practices, a stockpile of weapons, but no sign of the vice president's missing son. What followed was one of the largest domestic standoffs in US history. Then, a fire, a blaze so intense it burned for 2 days. No bodies were ever recovered, not one. Over 1,000 members, and not a single corpse. Yet, 5 survivors were found in the ashes, not a single burn upon their person. They were taken into custody. They were questioned, and not one of them said a word. For 3 years, the mystery gnawed at the public's imagination. Conspiracies ran afoot, from aliens, a false flag, and divine intervention itself. For 3 years, the survivors vanished from the public eye. No interviews, no statements, no explanations. Until now, one of the 5 survivors has agreed to speak with me, to tell their story, to finally lift the veil. Chapter 1.
It feels kind of silly, you know. The silhouette, the protection.
Your faces were never revealed to the public. The investigators weren't sure if you were members or victims. They're still not
It's
sure.
It's not them I'm worried about. The others will know. Just by being here, they'll know who it was.
Do you fear them?
I used to. Not anymore. It's funny. I used to give everyone else so much power over me. I was so afraid of, I'm not even sure now, of not fitting in, being rejected by a girl, getting a bad grade. Back when I thought I knew what real fear was. What an innocent child. What a naive child.
Did that fear lead you to seek out the children?
You never seek out the children. They find you.
Where did they find you?
Right outside the campus. You would always see their booth set up. They were a joke to most. Bunch of weirdos who acted like wearing street clothes was cosplay. They never looked comfortable in them, always fidgeting at the seams, spouting promises of unity, a truth revealed, and blah blah blah. That's how I used to think about them, back when things were still happy.
What changed?
I came home from school one day. I was pissed because Professor Patrick accused me of cheating. I stomped through the foyer and slammed the door shut. That's when I noticed 2 things amiss. 1, my dog, Barney, big golden boy, missing a couple of brain cells, didn't come running up to greet me. 2, my ma, well, she wasn't hollering at me for slamming the gosh darn door shut. I didn't think too much of it at first. Ma must have been taking Barney for a walk, which means I lucked out and wouldn't get a hollering for my entrance.
When did you realize something was wrong?
Ma was like a robot. Punctual. Dinner prep always started at 6 and food on the table by 7, or your money back. But 7 turned to 8, 8 to 10, and she and Barney still weren't back home. You ever get that voice? The little one in the back of your head that pops up whenever somebody is late and they aren't answering your calls. The logical part of your brain says, "Hey bud, don't worry, they're just stuck in traffic. Maybe they forgot to charge their phone." But that little voice is always whispering, "What if?" I was in my room, watching the driveway like a hawk for any sign. Her car was still parked there, you know. By the time midnight hit, the voice was no longer whispering. It was screaming, pounding at my skull, raging to be released. This was not normal. They should be home. Did something happen? Why are they not home? No, 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 no. This isn't supposed to happen to me. Someone else, but not me. I was so caught up in my worry I didn't even notice the smell, like freshly charred meat emanating from downstairs. When it hit my nose, all that anxiety instantly washed away. Maybe Ma was back home? She was cooking dinner. She must have gotten stuck working late at the office. But when I went to the kitchen, empty. But that smell, it was definitely coming from somewhere, so faint, yet so distinct, familiar. I followed it to the basement. Big concrete basement, latch doors sealed tight, built during the Cold War in case our Russian friends ever came a-knocking, or so Ma used to say. The moment I opened the door, the first thing I notice is the smell. All right, someone was definitely cooking down here. Maybe the latch got stuck and Ma was down here the entire time. You couldn't hear shit upstairs due to all the fortified walls. Pa would go here for shooting practice back when he was still with us, and we'd be none the wiser. I tried turning on the light, but the power was out. I called out, "Ma!" Nothing. I called out again and heard the jingle of bells. Scared the living hell out of me before my brain caught up to my heart, leaping out of my chest. Barney. That was Barney's caller. I called out his name, "Barney boy, you down here?" Barney only replied with a whimper, the same one he made on Thanksgiving when he got caught with his face in a stolen pie. I heard a wet crunching sound. Maybe he stole Ma's dinner. "Don't worry, boy, let's get you upstairs," I shouted as I turned my phone light on and...
Our guest starts breathing quickly. Do you need a moment?
No. It needs to come out. If I say it, they can't use it to control me. I'm not afraid anymore. Not with what's coming. This is nothing.
What did you see?
I turned on my phone's light. I noticed someone at the edge of my vision. And I finally see her. I see Ma. Her back is to me. She's giving Barney a hug, except one arm is locked tightly around him. I shine the light directly on them. Ma's other arm is reaching into the fuse box. Smoke is rising from her figure, billowing onto the ceiling. Her skin, it's black, and red, and bubbling. She is deathly still, but her skin won't stop bubbling. The smell washes over me, and I finally place it. Pork chops. Just like Ma used to make.
My God.
You know what the funny part is? I was relieved to see it, because I knew then that this was just a dream. A bad dream, and I would wake up soon, to Ma coming home and Barney would be... Barney wriggled free from Ma's embrace. The movement caused her lifeless head to tilt backwards and face me. Except, she had no face. It was torn to shreds, eaten down to the bone. Barney whimpered again. That guilty whimper like when he got caught with his face in the pie.